Good evening, everybody. Tonight on the Tavern, it's Players Week. You know that's going to be a big week. Recap in Bay Hill, and we're going to go down and check your handicap out. Join us tonight. Wrong button. Sorry.
Well, yeah. I think he is back to form. He fell off a little bit last year, but he also was named Ryder Cup captain. Give me Steve Bradley.
What's going on, Dave? How are you?
How we doing tonight?
Live on location in Las Vegas.
There you go. I'm live on location in my basement.
Yep, I'm at a very prestigious resort here, and we're going to get into prestigery here shortly. How's your weekend?
Weekend was good. Started working out in the vineyard and starting to get prunings done because the weather here in Iowa, we're on fake spring right now. So
yep. Spring junior.
So we'll see how that goes, and watched a lot of golf this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, one of our favorite events. I was out there on Saturday at Bay Hill. Flew out Sunday morning out here. Yeah, there's the cup, Corksicle, nice. I like it. And we're gonna get into Bay Hill, but I had the kids out there. It was really fun. I didn't tell you this. Our friend Mike Klyer caddied also the Pro-Am with us on Wednesday. And if you saw our halfway house, I talked about mine and the Orlando Golfers caddying experience. Mike caddied for the guy that actually handed the trophy to Russell on Sunday. And he and the Orlando golfer ended up on the driving range and inside the ropes on the first tee on Sunday. So
I know we're going to get into it, but let's just take a moment here. Russell Henley, a golfing dad in his own right.
That chip in,
yes,
in the back of that green.
But before we get into it, his winner's locker is next to Arnie's.
Yeah,
in the clubhouse now. Talk about an experience, and the fact that his kids ran out onto the 18th green. You can see his daughter sprinting across the green to give dad a hug. Yep. Those are the moments as golfing dads that we love to see.
Yeah, no, it was cool to see. I actually watched it from my hotel room because we flew out early on Sunday morning. I don't recommend, by the way, to anyone booking an early morning flight the day of the time change when it springs ahead. Nope. That's just a bad idea. But yeah, so let's hop into first round. We had a lot that happened today that we need to go over. So let's just go ahead and hop into first round. Let's see. I have to I don't normally do this. Where's Greg? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Are you always looking for a safe and accessible place to store your phone in your cart during a round of golf? Well, our friends at Desert Fox Golf have the perfect solution, the Desert Fox Phone Caddy. Just strap it to the cart window frame and you're all set. Also worried that you will miss your favorite podcast, The Golfing Dad's Tavern? They have a solution for that as well. Just add their DJ-10 speaker so you don't have to miss a minute of our show. Find these great products and more at desertfoxgolf.com.
So, speaking of Greg.
What's going on, people?
Live on location.
Live on location, too, tonight.
I'm live at the field house, watching the Pacers versus the Bucks. End of the first quarter. Go Pacers. I can't hear anything else anyone else is saying on here, but we're having a good time here.
There you go.
Well, you go have fun. We gotta break down Tiger's Achilles.
Hey, if Yip's in the tell him hi.
All right, I do.
Hey, Holly.
So
speaking of golfing dads,
news broke today, this afternoon, Might have been evening your time. I don't know. I'm still all confused at what time it is here.
It was mid-afternoon.
Tiger,
we'll call it that.
Tiger had some surgery done.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's, he's at home training and, you're trying to get back into it, and rupture an Achilles, no matter how great of an athlete you are, sucks. It's
right.
It's a freak injury. There's nothing that you could do to, it's like getting clipped by a 300-pound linebacker and your knee going out. But best of recovery to Tiger. I know TGL and everything else, thankfully they're in the playoffs right now, so he's not missing anything there unless they start another fall season coming up. But we'll have to wait and see on Tiger's recovery plan and period. And it's one thing to tear an Achilles when you're in your 20s. When you're in your 40s, it's a whole different story. Trying to get that rehab back and getting everything back under you.
Well, I think that the $25,000 question we have to ask, though, is we are a month from Augusta.
No, he doesn't play Augusta.
No, he doesn't.
No,
no.
He doesn't play another competitive round this year.
Wow. You came out swinging for the fences.
Yeah. If he was in his 20s or 30s, maybe towards the end of the year, but right now with Tiger just shooting to, try and play the majors and do that, I do not see Tiger playing another competitive round of golf this year as he tries to rehab that and get back in for next year.
Hot take by Dave today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And it's recovery time. It's, everything else. It's nothing against Tiger and the medical team that's out there. I'm sure Tiger will, push it to the limit, but Tiger's also, savvy and extremely smart, and he's not going to push it, so far just to get, and I see him coming back next year to play.
Okay.
So
I'll take that. I mean, that's a good,
yeah. Do we want to see Tiger play? Yes, we do. Would we love to see Tiger at Bethpage? Absolutely. But I think Tiger's now leading himself into being an assistant captain for Keegan.
I thought the only way we were going to see Tiger at Bethpage was as a vice captain.
Yeah, but he could ride around in a golf cart now, and but I just think, from a perspective of, walking 4 days and between that, and we've known Tiger and his bad back, and you hate to see it. You want the best for Tiger, and here's to a full-on recovery and seeing him in next year.
So do you think, obviously being Players Week, one of the few players who has won multiple players, Scotty being the guy who is coming off of back-to-back wins, I'm going to throw this a year from now. Do we see Tiger at the Players in 26?
I would assume that we would see Tiger at the Players in 26. Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Right. I think Tiger's first event next year is his event at Genesis. I think that's his timeline, and that's what he needs to shoot for.
So you don't think we see him at Portrush?
No.
Wow. All right. So the other big news that came out today, Jay Monahan came out of the gate swinging in his presser today in the state of the tour.
Yeah. I don't have. Did you have that pulled up right now?
I was trying to pull it up. I can get the quote for. Yeah. Hold on. The quote was, the tour has removed some hurdles in PIF negotiations and is fully committed to reunification.
Yep.
That's right out of the gate, he came out with that.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't tell you guys. I tried to actually text you from the plane when I was flying out here. We were flying Southwest. I pulled up the Wi-Fi. They had free TV, and the only thing that was on free TV was the live event on the replay on Sunday morning. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm trying to go to sleep. Let me watch this." Couldn't sleep. I've tried. I've watched Live before. I said I'll give it another chance. Let me watch it again, and it still didn't do anything for me. I love the behind the scenes and the conversations with the caddies that the tour is trying to do, and Live just bounces from shot to shot to shot, and you don't see anything. And that's part of my biggest problem with the Live coverage. Do we think a year from now at the Players? Now, there was the report from Rex Hoggard that a year ago, there was a chance that the Live players could have been here at the Players.
Yeah.
Do you think a year from now, as long as these negotiations have taken, we see Live players playing the Players Championship?
I think you do, and I think it's going to be very limited in it. It's, Bryson, Brooks, maybe, DJ and HV3. Those are the four names off the top of my head that I could see really coming back strong.
I actually see
the PGA.
I see a different set of four names, and I will tell you the names that I see. Bryson and Brooks are both up there, yes.
Yes.
Cam Smith, I see, yes.
Yep, Cam Smith, yeah.
And I see John Rahm. DJ's done nothing. Like, I don't know that DJ deserves a spot. Like, to me, DJ wouldn't get a spot at the Masters if he wasn't exempt for winning the November Masters. Harold Varner III really hasn't done much. Everyone's squawking about Sergio's win this past week. Oh, it was such a great win, yada, yada, yada. They played a 6,700-yard golf course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Phil getting his best finish on the Live Tour since going there, and everyone's like, oh, it was so great. Phil got his best finish. It was 6,700 yards. I'm struggling with the fact that you're playing a 6,700 golf course on a professional tour.
Yeah.
Like
59 is still 59, no matter how you shoot it. And
yardage
is only what you make of it, and it's what else is out there.
Well, here's my problem, though. Okay, Phil hasn't been able to compete on the big golf courses. After Phil turned 50, he won on the. And did he win it? Yes. I will give him. He won the PGA Championship, but that year, look at the rest of his starts on the PGA Tour. I think his best finish was T17 in a limited field event.
Yeah.
So and he won on the Champions Tour, shorter golf courses. Kiowa is a long golf course, yes, but you can bomb it anywhere at Kiowa and score. Like, it wasn't set up. You didn't have U.S. Open rough at Kiowa. They literally set that golf course up for scoring. So Phil could hit driver everywhere and score. I don't think his second place finish out in Hong Kong was that impressive on a 6,700-yard golf course.
Still better than me.
He took driver out of Bryson's hands on a lot of holes at 6,700 yards.
Yeah. But speaking of short yardages and handicaps and how people play,
I think it's time we go to our happy hour guest.
Yes.
And bring this in. So let's do the intro for happy hour. I'm kind of pumped about this, about our guest tonight. So let's do happy hour and let's jump into happy hour. Now, Dave, you play in a net event every year.
Yes.
I also play in some member guests. And tonight on our show, we are going to have the biggest independent journalist investigating handicap tournaments at prestigious golfing country clubs nationwide here in the U.S., the one and only Yip Strickler. Yip, how are you?
Yip, you're muted.
Hold on, you're muted. Hold on. Yep, you muted yourself. You need to unmute.
Is there a button on your microphone?
Down the bottom where it says mute.
There you go.
I figured it out. Guys, an unbelievable introduction. I couldn't any better myself. You kind of butchered my, tagline a little bit. But
a little bit, but it's all right.
I am so jacked to see Sunday Red at Players this year. Tiger's gonna do it, baby. I got to. Tiger Woods is bringing the thunder this year. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep, I got to
Tiger
start.
fans, or you guys don't think Tiger's going to win the Players? What's going on?
I think Tiger would need a. I think we would have. So let me ask you this. I'm going to start with this. Prime
Wait.
Tiger versus now. Do you think his handicap's got a soft cap on it?
Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
There's nothing soft about Tiger Woods ever. No such thing. No. What, you guys not Tiger? You guys don't think Tiger's going to win at the Players? Did something happen? Did I miss something?
Yeah. No, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys anti-Tiger guys. All right.
Tiger needs Ben's teeing off for him.
I see what you're drinking there. Is that a vodka seltzer?
Oh, you better believe it. Everybody knows Yip Strickler drinks 4 to 17 vodka seltzers every day.
That's awesome. You fit right in on this show.
Yeah. So, Yep, my first time meeting you because I missed you at the show. And by the way, Greg says hello. He ducked his head in here really quick.
Hey, Greg.
So you've been shown on some pretty major golf journalistic sites recently. And before we get to some of that, what made you start investigating all this sandbagging that's going on out there?
Well, if you want me to be completely honest, it's all an accident. This all happened by chance. In 2023, Yip was born. YIP, your invitational partner. It was an acronym for the greatest invitational partner you could have. I started it on a whim for my buddies before our member guest one year. Just having some fun, rented some vehicles, acted like a jerk, played great golf. Everybody that plays with me always plays the best round of their lives. So it's just a natural fit that I was going to be the best invitational partner anyone could ask for. And then one day I saw this local kind of competitor club of ours, Western Golf and Country Club in beautiful Redford, Michigan, had a little post on their website. Two guys that won a tournament. I did a little digging and I was like, man, I think there's something here because everywhere I go, it's just littered with sandbagging rats. It's like I know on the first tee what I'm dealing with, and it's just where we're at.
So, Yep, I'm going to ask, where do you go to investigate this?
Well, I mean, I never reveal all my sources. Everybody knows that. But I mean, there's a lot of tips that are involved nowadays. Since, this kind of started last May by accident, I have become aware of how many net golf tournaments and like national tournaments that there actually are that just involve net golf. It's wild to me that everyone is fine with all these guys just manipulating their handicaps all day, every day to go steal money from everybody. Everybody's fine with it except for me. But yeah, there's just there's actually a lot out there that just a simple little Google search and it'll blow your mind.
So is there a net tournament out there that does not need to be investigated?
Impossible.
Okay.
I would say that's impossible because now I've seen, I did a little case a few weeks back about a tour where they break down your handicaps. Like, okay, we're going to flight everyone. If you're 0 to 3.9, we're here. 4 to 7.9, we're here. And guys will still manipulate their handicaps to make sure they move up a division. It's just, these white people are crazy. So many rich whites that love winning golf tournaments.
Dave, Dave,
So
I'm gonna.
what-
Dave,
so
hold
when
on
you-
one second.
okay.
I want to ask you a question to follow up on that. Yep. And the question that I have is the problem with the people or is the problem with the handicapping system?
Oh no, the system is actually perfect. The problem is that the system assumes that human beings are going to do the right thing. So the system is great. It's the humans that stink.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But so because humans, golf, you're supposed to be honorable. You're supposed to be doing all this. It's we've all said the quotes. It's the golf's greatest game in the world. It's the only one you can call a penalty on yourself. But do you think there's a net format out there where you can prevent sandbagging?
Well, number one, any of these big tournaments, why they don't take off the low? Why aren't they playing off their low handicap? like their lowest index over the last year. That's mind-boggling to me because everything, like, I know this is like, oh, it's a big joke. He's investigating net golf tournaments. What a loser. Well, I can tell you that my actual investigations, like, I can see how people, like, right before a tournament, all of a sudden, oh, here we go. We're going to plug in our scores. And they haven't posted anything in 4 months. But now before a tournament, boop, all of a sudden, knock all the other scores out, bump your number, and then, you go to Pound Town.
I don't know. I've played with somebody that may be sitting, just to my other side here. That's like, oh, I can't post that score this week.
Steve, you been a bad boy?
You know what? Yep, I'll admit it. And that's actually the next question, funny enough. I played a member guest every year. It's a member guest. We all love them. I go up to Fayetteville, Arkansas. And the problem that I have, and I will say this, my handicap card says 3.8 on it. And you play to your handicap 25% of the time. Let's be real about it. But when you go, everybody else is cheating. So you got to freaking figure out a way to pad your handicap so you can compete with everybody else.
Well, I mean, I don't live my life that way, Steve. I don't know what to tell you. If you want me to agree, I'm not going to agree with you. I know you were gracious enough to have me on your show. I do appreciate that. I'm not going to agree with this behavior.
I took a 6 in. Okay, I took a 6 in. We came in third. I didn't cheat enough. Okay.
Now here's the thing. I put all my scores in. My handicap index keeps going up. So, but
you must be playing some really awful golf.
I do play some really awful golf. And Steve, I sent Steve earlier my scores from this past January playing it in the net event that I had there, and I was shooting, 105, 106. I posted a 90 one day and a 96 one day. My issue is hit good drive, chunk 2 shots, and 2 putt for bogey or double. They keep me around because I know how to read a green.
How many hybrids do you have in your bag?
1.
Do you have a 4-iron?
Nope.
5-iron?
5 through wedge.
Okay. I want to get rid of a few of those.
Yeah, I would
get rid of them.
You're probably
get rid of the
wrong
5
there.
and 6. Get it out of the bag.
Yeah.
Maybe a little 7 wood do you good. I don't know.
So let me ask you, with the work that you're doing in your expert investigative journalism, do you think that we can finally get to a point where this isn't happening across the country?
Absolutely not. That's why I've created the greatest artificial business of all time. I'm going to be making money until the day I die calling out sandbagging rats. This is never going to end. This is the perfect, all the greatest entrepreneurs, whatever you call those geniuses like myself, come up, they find, where is the biggest need? What can we do to fix this? And this is how, poof, I'm here. We are going, I'm never going to completely fix it. It's impossible, but this is a really good fake business idea that I have here because it's going to go forever and ever and ever. Yeah. Because let's be honest, most of the members at these prestigious private golfing clubs are just nerds that probably never won anything a day in their lives. So what are they going to do? We are going to do whatever it takes to win $50 in pro shop credit. So we can't even buy a box of balls, but maybe we'll, buy the old lady a couple pairs of socks. They'll do anything for it.
So speaking of prestigious events, last Monday there was the Pro-Member at Seminole Golf Club there in Florida, and it may have one of the best collections of PGA professionals in a non-televised event that go out there. One would think that sandbagging shenanigans wouldn't happen there. Did you find anything that happened at that event?
Well, let's be honest, I was very, very polite to the president of Seminole who happened to win the net event. I was very, 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 very polite. Cleared him of any sandbagging allegations, just in case, maybe I got a chance someday to play there. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. However, the membership is just littered with rats. Rat numero uno, Tom Brady. This guy never posts a score. How does he play? He plays in all these net events. He just runs around. Oh, yeah, how do you sleep at night, Tom Brady?
On deflated footballs.
Well, I will say this. I haven't unleashed this quite yet to the public, but I actually found a pretty big mistake on Tom Brady's handicap, which he should be thanking me for. Even though he's a sandbagging rat, he doesn't deserve this. I should not be helping him. I would actually be helping him.
So, Yip, I'm going to ask. I actually saw the next day a post on Nuclear Golf that included your investigative journalism, exposing the sandbagging brats on this.
Well, I was the first. I was the first to come out with the results from the Seminole Pro-Member. No big deal. You know, when you're the biggest independent journalist investigating handicaps and tournaments at prestigious private golfing clubs in the entire universe, you happen to, people are just nice to you. They just send you things all the time. They send you, things you wouldn't believe. Oh, it's my son's bar mitzvah. They send me a picture. Oh, that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. They send me pro-member results. They send me hospital bills. I get a lot of weird things.
Was their work, again, using yours? First off, they did credit you, which I was happy with. But was their investigative journalism on par with the expectations of Yip Strickler?
Well, first off, God bless Nuclear Golf. What they have done for my artificial business since the get-go. Last summer, when I did a little Barstool Classic thing, and I wasn't even on the X, Yip Strickler had no presence. I went bonkers on the X. One day I got, my video went boom, boom, boom all over the place. That's kind of how I got all these followers on Instagram. The TikTok, though, I was kind of rolling already. The TikTok folks, they really like the Yip Strickler investigations. I don't know if it's lack of brain cells, something like that, but they've always been on board.
You fit in with the two of us in lack of brain cells,
right? Yeah, you're in the right group here.
I figured that's why you invited me. This is what I'm talking about. Look at can you guys see this? Can you guys see this? You see Tom Brady?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a peek right here. Look at this. 0.0 differential. It's counting, and it's a 15-hole score at an 83. This is what happened when they switched up the handicap system. They had some formulas that switched, and when you're that big of a rat that you still have scores from, let's see, Tom Brady, 2019. Well, all his scores, now he's just got it's a disaster. I didn't know if you're allowed to swear on here. I was about to say.
No, you're good. You're good. We are allowed to do that.
I was about to use some foul language. I don't use foul language in my videos, but sometimes on podcasts I get a little cuckoo.
So let me ask you this. I want to follow up on that. You talked about the Barstool Classic. That is a tournament I haven't played in, but I feel like is full of sandbagging rats, and you can't compete with any handicap at that level unless you just pad your handicap and end up with soft caps and a bunch of 9-hole scores. Is there a way that they can do the Barstool Classic and make it legit?
Well, I will say this: the way that they do it, they play off the low. So
okay,
yesterday's event, I believe the low was like a plus 2.2, and then they go 50%. So honestly, a lot of the guys that are up towards the top of the leaderboard are typically better players.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I think in that sense, it kind of favors, like, if you want to play gimmicks, like I said, you need to go off the low. What everyone's low handicap index is off the last year. Otherwise, you're just playing games. That's all they're doing is playing games.
Yep.
Because the Barstool Classic is the gift that keeps on giving, and I could just do that.
All of a sudden, you got a career just in the Barstool Classic. I will say this: I've played True Blue.
Yep, you muted yourself again.
Yep, you muted yourself.
Yep. There you go.
I have played True Blue multiple times on trips to Myrtle Beach, and I will say this: it's Mike Strand's. It's not Tobacco Road Mike Strand's, but it is a great golf course. But you can hit driver everywhere out there. It's wide open, and you can bomb it. It's one of the reasons I like the golf course. Big greens, and you can score out there. It's not the hardest golf course. There's not a lot of target golf out there. So I will say it's an easier golf course to play to your handicap because you can hit it I mean, you can land
Yeah.
747s on some of those fairways. They're so wide.
Now, what about
You
the
know,
park
it's like
yesterday?
hitting driver at 18 at Harbortown. You shouldn't miss that fairway.
You did.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen your. I saw teasing your video on the park. And funny, I've been to the park for dinner. I haven't played the park. So funny enough, I had a friend that texted me yesterday. I'm in the fabulous Las Vegas, and I was walking to an In-N-Out Burger because if you're in Vegas and you live on the East Coast, you go to In-N-Out. And a buddy of mine texted me asking me to come down and play the park today at 11:45, and I was like, it's gonna be a long commute for me. So what happened at the park?
Well, I mean, there was one of the greatest lamb and eggs of all time. The team that got the 4th place position, they combined for, I believe, 6 doubles and 3 triples, something like that, and still qualified. It was blustery conditions, very difficult conditions, but they only had the same score on one hole. They just lamb and egged it to death. It was unbelievable. No, they were not sandbagging rats as far as I could see. They were both 7.8, 7.7s, and I think the one guy shot 90 and the other guy shot 82, and they somehow qualified.
That's I know that I wasn't home yesterday. Obviously, I'm in Vegas. I live in Central Florida. We had a pretty nasty storm go through yesterday morning that my wife said actually just north of us there was a really bad tornado that went through. So I will say the weather was pretty bad in Florida yesterday. So
yeah, they had some conditions, but I will say this much: the rest of the field is not safe because my team and I have been doing some digging, and
I'm excited for later this week. Let's go.
Yes.
We got to. Hey, I don't want to spoil your excitement, but you ain't gonna see it later this week. This is gonna be a special presentation.
Oh, I like that.
You're always welcome on this show for special presentations.
Well, thank you. Before it comes, it's a special presentation. I'm not kidding.
So now, we have to dive into Dave tonight on the show while we've got you here. We've got to dive into Dave in Dave's dilemma.
So I'm looking. So I play in this net event every year. We have Stableford, we have net scores, we have 2 different teams, and then we have 4 different teams. It's a whole bunch of different side games and everything. So there's 16 of us. Your A players are handicapped 7 through 9. Your B players are going 12 through 16.
Those are the ones you got to watch out for right there. What'd you say?
Your C's are Your C's are 16 to 20, and your D's, including myself, are 23 to 26. So outside of practicing and learning how to play better golf, I know this group really well, and I can vouch for pretty much most of these handicaps because I've played with them and I've watched them. What do you suggest for a group of 16 like this going out and doing a net event in that with guys that you trust?
I mean, make sure you have good friends.
Yeah.
I know who I like to play with at my prestigious private golfing club, and I know who I don't like to play with.
Yeah.
That's how did I really get into this? That's how I really got into this. You know who you want to play with, you know who you don't.
Well, I'm friends with Steve, so my life took a downhill turn a long time ago.
Listen, I ain't mad at you for that.
Do you guys want to hear about the first case I ever broke in my life?
Yeah.
First case of all time. It was a blustery day in 2022. I was watching this member at my prestigious private golfing club walk away once again with a net championship, his 4th in a row. And it dawned on me, wow, we need to make a little investigation on this guy. Just did a little digging. Now, see, I'm a member at a place called Dearborn Country Club in beautiful Dearborn, Michigan. And there happens to be another Dearborn Country Club in the state of Illinois, where there used to be, at least. I believe they're out of business now. And the country club in Illinois had a slope rating of 110 from their black tees. The black tees at our Dearborn Country Club were 138. So when you shoot a 75 from the black tees at a 110 slope, it's basically like shooting a 86 on a 138. So all his scores were going to this other course, which is why his handicap was constantly a 7 or an 8 when he was really a 2. And that was my first, my first real, like, we did it. We did it. We made the game a better place for all. And that's what I'm here for. I'm a man of the people. Okay, if you guys think I'm making any money right now, I can tell you right now I ain't making diddly squat. Okay,
but I love the golden tee setup behind you.
Yeah,
well, thank you. I made money before this fake business.
Yeah,
I'm doing this because I care about the game of net golf. Okay,
Yep.
people are like, "Oh man, aren't you worried about somebody finding you and doing something?" I'm like, "Oh, why? So they can kill me and I can die a martyr for the game of net golf and become a legend for people to talk about for decades and decades to come?" No, I don't care. I'm willing to do anything, which is why I'm wearing these sunglasses. I know you guys think I'm really just Hollywooding it tonight, but that's not the case. I actually have a black eye because I got punched in the face at the Michigan Golf Show.
So let me ask you this. And I know the person that runs this tour is watching because he's been commenting. I've played in a year-long World Amateur Golf Championship events.
Okay.
Played an event, and I play off of a 5 there. I was playing off of a 5.
Man, your handicap, sure. It seems like it just kind of bumps around no matter where you're playing.
This was about a year and a half ago. I was playing off of a 5. Okay. And that was my handicap for the tour. That was the handicap I was playing off of for the tour because they do a tour handicap. And I went out and shot 74. And they post, as you like to say it, straight to the gin. They post literally your scores get posted right away when you play in these events. I got beat by 4 by a guy getting 30.
Hey.
That I watched, and I'm going to say this. Now, they have a max score.
That's like
and then you get to take your handicap
that's
on
like
that max
playing
score.
Mama Strickler. You shouldn't even be playing.
Right. There's a max. Like, I have no business playing these events because I can't compete with that. Like, you're getting 30, I'm getting 5. Incorrect system. As he's commenting, it's not an incorrect system, Michael. So when you talk about guys that are playing like that, this is the reason that guys end up wanting to pad their handicaps because they can't compete when they're playing these net events,
because they know everybody's doing it.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know.
So
it disgusts me. But see, like when I didn't play golf. I didn't grow up a country club brat like most of the people I'm calling out nowadays, because I can tell most of them are country club brats. Grew up just, come here. My daddy taught me how to pad this thing since I was 8 years old, because I truly believe there's a lot of father-son handicap manipulation. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up doing this, okay? I started playing golf in 2011 when Mama Strickler made me sell my bass boat. I was about to be one of the greatest bass fishermen this country of the United States had ever seen. I was winning tournaments all over the place, but the problem was I was gone the entire weekend, never home. So she said, "Oh, how about we join this prestigious private golfing club instead so you can..." So I said yes, because I'm a fantastic husband. And that's when I started playing golf, 2011. And of course, I stunk, okay? I used the handicap thing. That was like my measuring stick. Okay. I knew where I wanted to get. I knew that being a 15 handicap meant that I stunk and I was going to improve, and I was eventually going to be able to play in the club qualifier. I was going to do this. And it was like a pride thing. Why would you want to, I don't know. I just always wanted, I thought that was the measuring stick. And then if everybody does the same thing, it really does work. I've been in groups where people are, we're all legit, and guess what? It's really fun every time we play golf.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, we won't go down the road of bass fishing and people weighting down fish that are out there trying to catch them.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. That's another thing. We got weighting fish. I mean, that's kind of one of the, it's one of the biggest comments on Yip Strickler's posts. I will say that.
Yeah. So before we let you go here, where can people find you and get on the Yip train and keep up with all the sandbagging going on out there?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Yip locomotion is a cooking right now, and you two, Steve, Dave, look at these eyeballs right now. I know you can't see them, so I got this. I don't want to show. I told you. Look at it. See that thing? Told you. I got punched in the face. I'm gonna tell you right now. I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced, and I will not be pressing charges because trust me, he took the worst of it. Anyways, you can find me on Instagram at Yip Strickler. You can find me on TikTok. You can go to yipstrickler.com if you just want to buy hats. That's actually the Yip Strickler Hat Emporium website. There's another site if you want shirts, if you want underwear. I have sold 2 pair of ladies' underwear in the state of Nebraska. Yes, that's right. The state of Nebraska loves Yip Strickler ladies' panties. They say members only on the back. They're beautiful. What an unbelievable product. Mama Strickler has a pair, and I can tell you right now, I am betting 1,000 when she wears them. You can find me on TikTok. I'm going to be on YouTube here real quick because see what happens is when I get these little creative juices flowing and all of a sudden I become the biggest independent journalist investigating handicaps and tournaments and people want to play golf with me. Okay. So eventually what's going to happen is these guys that I'm calling out, I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to challenge them to net events on camera. And I think we're going to grow this thing a little bit. We're going to take this thing to the next level.
Well, Yip, thank you for joining us tonight. If you happen to come down next January for the PGA show, let's stay in touch because
well, maybe I can bring my golf clubs this time and it won't be snowing.
Please.
What a disaster.
Please come down, bring your clubs, and you can join us.
Trust me, I was out playing it all week.
What a disaster. I will say this. That PGA golf show was a fantastic experience. And if there's one thing that I learned, it's that I believe Gabby Powell is better looking than Paige Spiranek. I'm willing to stand by that.
I agree with you. I'd give you that.
Hey, I'm a happily married man. Look, no, I'm not. I'm just, my eyeballs work even when they're still punched up a little bit. My eyeballs work, and I think Gabby Powell's better looking.
Well, Yip, thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy your vodka seltzers.
Hey, go Tiger, baby! I can't wait. Dude, this was actually a first edition Sunday Red right here. First edition, man. Gosh,
nice.
I can't wait to watch him play, man. He's gonna do it.
Nice. Well, we will chat soon, and can't wait to see your investigative journalism coming soon.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Make sure you post all your scores.
See you. Bye.
Cheers.
Oh, it was so much fun. I was looking forward to tonight. You have no idea.
Yes. And I tell you what, we, like the three of us, you, Greg, and I go out and, it's just, it's different. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And sometimes I know when I get in my own head, when I, play other events and, try and do better to impress certain people that are also in these events. And it's two different golfers. And, for me, that's a headspace. Yeah. Hayden, it was that type of night.
I'll just leave it there, Hayden. That's all it is, buddy. Yeah. I'll just leave it there. All right, let's hop into
let's roll on.
Smack of the week time. This week's Smack of the Week is brought to you by the fact that we are getting into spring and we're here to help, just like the Bridgestone Mindset is here to help you improve. Just remember when using a ladder, you need a spotter. That's all I'm going to leave it at.
Yep.
We're going to rewind this really quickly. Yep, I'm just going to leave that there. Yep.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to ask, because you, with your work at the winery, has that ever happened to you?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yep.
All right, let's hop into last call. So, Dave, let's talk. Did Colin Morikawa lose the golf tournament, or did Russell Henley win the golf tournament?
I believe that's a 50-50 statement there. I think Colin had it, and Henley made that great chip in there, and I just think Colin fell apart the last 3 or 4 holes, and he got in his own head, and he couldn't get out of it, and Henley put his foot on the gas, and off he went.
So let me ask you this question. We look back at Colin's career, right? In Colin's career, he won 2 majors, but they were during COVID with limited spectators.
Right. And I think Colin even came out and said that this one's going to hurt for a while.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was rooting for Colin to win. That golf course, was play. I mean, you saw it on Sunday. Like, there were parts of that golf course that looked like the Sahara Desert. It was so brown out there. They just let the golf course go. And when you look at what happens every year at Bay Hill, you've got a golf ball, and somebody's going to have to hit a shot. And they say it on TV every year, you got to play bold to win at Bay Hill. And Russell Henley, the shot he hit on 16 was very bold.
Yes, it was.
And I will say this, amazing golf shot. It's going to go down in the history books as the shot there.
Yep.
I feel like he won the golf tournament.
Yeah, on 16.
He played to win the golf tournament. He didn't play to lose. He played to win. And let's be real, making birdie on 17 and 18, you've played the golf course, I've played the golf course. Once you get through 16, there aren't a lot of birdie chances on 17 and 18.
No. And 17 as a whole, outside of Henley, 17 as a whole played so much different this year. How many guys did we see, chip or hybrid or something, or 7 or blade this or blade that out of the rough or the lip, and they just couldn't get a good feel on where to land that ball. And then, like, it hit, most of them, 90% of them, I think, hit the green and rolled off into the rough if they didn't come up short and right there. And
I feel like Saturday, when they moved the tee up and they played the forward tee, right? They didn't play it all the way back on Saturday. I actually think that was a better hole on Saturday. Although, funny enough, Rory nuked a 9-iron over the green, and I was like, and it literally hit and hopped once, and you were like, where'd that ball go? Like, it looked like it went straight to hell, like, because that's what that rough was like back there, having walked through it. I just feel like the golf course itself, again, Bay Hill is always a test of golf because of the way they set the golf course up. It's set up firm, set up how Arnold wanted to set it up. A little different than what they set up this week at Sawgrass. I do feel like I wish that the players would grow the rough up a little bit more and get that Bay Hill rough. I just don't know that the players want to see that back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour. So, I still think we debated this last year. I feel like, you go from the bear trap. Arnold, the last 3 holes at Bay Hill don't have a name. They kind of tried to give a name to the last 3 holes at Sawgrass, and you run in the snake pit at I feel like we still need a name for the last 3 holes at Bay Hill because they're awesome. I do like that they tried that stint with Arnold when he wanted to make 16 a par 4, and I thought it was a bad idea. I think it's a better par 5, and I really feel like they have figured out the golf course, and I think they're happy with the golf course the way it is right now. Again, you got to play 18 holes of golf. It's always amazing to me at Bay Hill, and Dave, you know this. The 13th hole is the shortest hole in the golf, shortest par 4 in the golf course, and it's the number 1 handicap hole on the golf course. Yep. And there are a lot of holes you stand on the tee and you're like, where do you hit it?
And that's one of them.
15 being one of them. 15. Now the problem with 13 to me isn't the drive. It's 3-wood or hybrid right center. The problem with 13,
it's the second shot.
It's the second shot because no matter where that flagstick is, you have to hit it left of the flagstick because if you hit it right, you're probably left.
Yep. And we saw enough people that missed that even this weekend. And these are guys that do it for a living that aren't sandbagging.
They're professionals, right? So let's jump into another golf course that I've played on the PGA Tour.
That's a drink
this week. It's a drink. I know. I'm waiting for Brad to write it. Sawgrass, amazing facility, amazing golf course. You teed up
too much.
Charge too much. Yeah, we've talked about that. You teed up on 1 and 17's in the back of your head already. Because you know it's coming at some point. 17's not even the hardest par 3 on the golf course. I think 8's harder, especially from the back tee box where it plays like 250.
But 17, it's a mind game. It always has been, because everybody knows 17. You know,
I've played that golf course a half
do we know what 8
times.
is? Yeah, but when you say TPC Sawgrass, in everybody's mind, the visual picture of TPC Sawgrass is 17.
It's 17. I've played that golf course a half dozen times. I've never missed the green on 17. I've only ever made par there. I've made 3 every time I played it. It's a great track. It's one of those that I love playing, and when you get to peg it up there, it's always a special treat. But yeah, I mean, you are right. But let's hop into odds, and we got to make our picks. I know you have Greg's pick for tonight, so let's.
I have Grady.
Let's hop into odds with Dave, and here we go.
Gotta love that Nikon rangefinder.
Yeah.
Check out our Instagram page of photos of that, of Steve in action, caddying out at Bay Hill.
Bay Hill with it, trusting it.
Yeah.
So Dave, where are we? I'm going to guess I know who the favorite is this week, although I don't feel like he should be the favorite.
He's going for 3 in a row, and he's at 4-1 right now. He was my pick at Bay Hill. Made a fairly strong comeback. There, got inside the top 15. But Scotty did not play his best golf. He did not putt well, and he did not chip well. He left a lot of opportunity out there at Bay Hill. I think he knows it. I think the Players was in the back of his mind coming into it. I think he's still trying to get into form a little bit, but he is coming in at 4-1 for the Players. Rory at 10-1, Morikawa at 14, Ludwig at 16, JT and Xander at 22. Xander did not play well this past week. Fleetwood at 28.
Back after an injury.
Yeah. Hideki at 30. Russell Henley, your most recent winner, at 35. Cantley and Shane Lowry at 40. Sepp Straka at 45. Captain Keegan and Sung Jae at 50. And that'll kind of round it out for me right there. So Greg had first pick this week as he was low man on the totem pole. He is taking Scotty.
Wow,
surprise.
I'm shocked by that.
Steve, even though you and I were both top 15, you had the closer to 15 on that with Rory. So who do you got here?
I thought long and hard about this pick today, and I was actually going to stay away from Scotty because no one up until last year had won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So I was going to stay
here.
away.
I'll give you another one because we all love him, and I know Bradley, the commissioner, is waiting for me to make this my pick. Ricky Fowler is out there at 100-1 right now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take his buddy Justin Thomas.
Oh, damn it! That was my pick.
Sorry.
Well, I got to go back to the well on this one.
Okay, Rory, go ahead.
Yeah, I was tossed up between Colin and JT because I thought you were gonna take. Well, you took Rory last week, so I really should have put that out of the back of my mind.
Yep.
I think Rory won for me earlier this year at AT&T, and I did get a top 15 out of Colin. But neither of those two guys are going to play next week at Valspar. So, I'm gonna go with Morikawa here.
Wow.
Yep.
Curveball.
Yep, I'm gonna take a curveball. I think he has something to prove to himself this week.
I'm just gonna let you know who's gonna win this week, and it's gonna end up being Ludwig.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Morikawa this week. I think he's got something to prove to himself, and what better place to prove it to yourself than at the Players?
Awesome. Well, Dave, have a good night.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. To dinner
Catch up with your team
and catch up with everybody from work, and we're going to Fremont Street. So you guys have a good night.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, having the opportunity to build something
That has gone viral on our TikTok. That somebody was commenting about playing Whistling Straits for 700